Good morning.
Ben Television has been going for almost 2 decades now, representing the African, Caribbean, and ethnic communities in the diaspora, especially based in the United Kingdom. We have been providing content, various programs to empower, make an intervention, deliver, and enlighten the mainstream community about what it is to be a BAME in the United Kingdom. For almost 2 decades, this has been our ethos, bridging the gap. Now we seek for your support and partnership in delivering what we need to achieve in the coming generation for our youth, either through training, mentorship, empowerment for their entrepreneurial skill, talent, and in their business. Ben Television, Bridging the Gap, you're welcome to be with us. Thank you very much for joining and being partners of Ben TV, creating that bridge between the mainstream and the other communities in the United Kingdom and in Europe.
Good morning, viewers around the world. This is Ben TV, You Decide, a weekly news discussion amongst great men, people that follow up informations around the world. So my name is Mark Godwin Iweajuma. Like we said last time, I'm standing in for my great friend, Dr. Segun Johnson. So we're here to go through the news updates for the week, the past week, and current news information. Joining me on You Decide this morning are my very good friends. There in the UK, we have the Ben TV in-house researcher, Dr. Nat Yako. Dr. Nat Yako, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, and many times, good morning.
Good. Yes. Joining also from the same location is my wonderful brother and friend also, Mazi Azu Godson. Mazi Azu, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, my dear good brother and friend all over there in Rome. I want to say good morning to everyone. Let's beat good morning, let's Rome.
Nice. Great. We're in Milan, but it's still connected to Rome. Thank you. So today we're having a very special personality. There's a movement going on, and we need to know about that movement. So with us also is a beautiful sister, Goody Chidima Okechukwu. Goody Chidima Okechukwu is a global communication strategist. She's on a mission with a campaign called Protect Accent. Goody Chidima, are you there? You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. And it's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
Good. Yes, and finally joining us today to rub minds and discuss issues is my brother that goes along with me anywhere I go to. He's good with political analyzing, and he's also a member of the team, the media team here in Milan. So we have with us Vincent Ihe-Sinulo. Vincent Ihe-Sinulo, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mark. Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure being here.
Good. So this is it. We're here to discuss and rub minds, like we said. You Decide has been moving for years now, and You Decide has been putting out good information, updating people around the world, updating the African community in Europe also. So this morning, we want to also give some new updates. Dr. Nat, it's there in the UK, a lot of occurrences are going on. How is the COVID situation? How is the COVID and the max arrangement?
Thank you very much, Chief Mark. We are looking forward to the Freedom Day, which is on our calendar or our roadmap, July 19, 2021. Last Monday, that was on the 12th of July 2021, the Prime Minister made some announcements to the nation, and there he is in number 10 Downing Street, and he updated the nation on the progress, the data, and the politics of COVID in the United Kingdom. And the Prime Minister gave us a hope and a blessed assurance that restrictions on COVID protocol will be lifted on the 19th of July 2021, which he declared as Freedom Day. But some of us were very skeptical. We were not too sure whether that will happen, because in the past we've had experiences where the goalpost keeps changing at the middle of the game. The Prime Minister will say one thing today, and tomorrow is a different story. And so we were looking forward to July 19, 2021. But towards yesterday evening, night, and today, we seem to be having different stories. The government seems to be washing her hands off those restrictions, and the government is now passing on the responsibility to individuals, personal responsibilities, which I think, to start with, that is not fair on the public, especially if the Prime Minister has spoken. We thought he spoke for everybody as individuals, groups, organizations. But what we are now seeing is now left for individual organizations to enforce any protocol they think, with specific reference to public transport, London transport. And what I am seeing, maybe there will be need for clarification, that you will still have to use your face cover, which they call face mask, here on any of the London transport facility. And I see the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, saying you have to wear a mask in the bus, on the train, in the trams. And I don't understand. Because it is like the restrictions have not really been relaxed or removed. They now have to be enforced by individuals, and I think it's not fair. We need to be told exactly what is going on, because even some supermarkets or departmental stores, or even these corner shops, will now start enforcing their own COVID rules. And so it's like there's going to be confusion. Who does what? What exactly are we supposed to do? Or is that bringing back the restriction through the back door? So I think the Prime Minister should be fair to the British people. People have been wearing these face masks for more than 1 year now. People are tired of this face mask thing. There have been public demonstrations against it. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen between now or immediately after July 19.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nat. Yes, but we should also have it in mind that the Delta variant is blowing around, and it's showing more stronger resistance. So don't you think these masks wearing could help reduce this Delta variant? And don't you think some of the laws, the rules that are being placed will actually help the people and not looking at it the other way. Nothing that.
No, you see, right from the onset, there has been this problem of conspiracy theories. And if the prime minister knows there have been this thing called Delta variant, he knew that by Monday when he was telling the nation that restrictions are going to be removed. So if he knew that, or if he had the science, and he decided to be political about the whole announcement or be economic wise, I don't think in the 21st century, in July 2021, the prime minister should not be speaking from both sides of his mouth. He should be seen to be coming clear and clean on these issues, especially issues that concern the health of the nation. But he has chose to be more economical with the truth, and he chose to make his decision based on the economy and not on health.
Okay, that's brilliant, Doctor. Yes, in Europe, Vincent, how is it in the other parts of Europe? How is the COVID situation? What do you know about COVID in Italy, in Spain, France? Vincent.
Yes, thank you very much. In Italy here, and I believe in other parts of Europe, there seems to be a kind of relaxation. Joint bars have opened. We see people hanging out. There's been a relaxation also of some of the restrictions. People have been seeing, going about without masks. Bars have been allowed to display their tables, eating tables and seats outside. You even see people performing live music performances at some of those relaxation centers, showing that there's been a relaxation, of some of those restrictions. Now, people can also be allowed to go about without wearing masks, knowing that, just like Uncle Nat said, people are tired, having worn this thing for over 1 year. Now, but again, you're also reminded that you are supposed to put on a mask if you're in a bus or in a place where you have a lot of people. But I believe that June 19th here too, they're going to, July 19th, I think there's going to be a change to the fact that they would allow people to go about without masks, because a higher number of people have also taken the vaccines. I have taken my first dose, and I also take the second one. The scare, however, is on these new variants, which I understand some of the vaccines do not respond to positively. I've seen in the news recently that Pfizer is 30% less effective against this new variant. We have not seen that of other vaccines available, but there is still need for people to be careful, put on your mask when necessary, because nobody knows. These are new development. And it keeps evolving over time, so nobody knows what's going to happen next. And remember that this virus took the world by surprise, and people, whatever we have seen so far, people did not expect it. So all the responses we have seen are more like knee-jerk responses, even though I give kudos to the scientists who were able to come up with something to put it in check. But then, if you have taken your vaccines, it doesn't stop you from, wearing your masks, because even if you don't contact it, even if you contact it and it doesn't do anything to you, you could easily pass it on to the next person who is yet to take the vaccine. So it's important for us to all wear our masks.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Vincent. We're moving forward. We don't want to stay on one issue. Still there in the UK, very strange occurrences. We have the flash flood. The rain will fall in seconds and water will be all over everywhere. Mazi Azu, what is happening? We see your train stations, your tube lines, everywhere is being waterlogged. What is happening with the flash flood?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mark. I think it's an unusual occurrence in some part of the UK in recent times, especially during this time of downpour in the UK. Normally, this is mostly experienced at the most part of the UK in the northern region, especially areas like in Cornwall and in Yorkshire areas. But then suddenly, the recent rainfall in the last couple of days ago had kind of taken most people unaware, especially here down east of England. Even in my place here in Peterborough, which is one of the most affected areas at the rainfall, have the highest flooding ratio across the country in Peterborough. It was unimaginable. I mean, most people couldn't go out of their house. Some parts of Peterborough during that rain downpour, and also in some part of London, especially in southwest London. I mean, they call it Storm Bila. The storm was named Bila, and is absolutely unbelievable. Some people kind of give reference to it that they have never seen a kind of a rainfall in 2.5 hours of heavy downpour. Everywhere was flooded. But anyway, I mean, UK is quite different in some aspects in terms of experiencing such disasters of flooding, because they always have measures in place to curtail the excess damages and the impact on the social infrastructure and the citizens as a whole. I mean, in the last 3-4 days, I'm sure from all indications, most of the affected areas have come back to normality, and most people who are affected have been taken into consideration by every means of the local government packages to ensure that people are in good safe condition and healthy condition, and also to ensure that all those that have reason to claim insurances guided on how to claim insurances on the damages on their houses or properties, and so everything is coming back to normal. But then there is a very serious amber warning in the next couple of days that there may be likely a similar rainfall in the next coming days, and everybody should just be prepared. And obviously, we're looking forward to what happens in the next couple of days. But anyway, we are getting used to this kind of storm rains in the last 10 years now in the UK, and hopefully they know the government is putting a very strong and reasonable measures in place to ensure it doesn't get to a very disastrous condition in the life of people. And this.
Thank you very much, Maziazu. Thank you. Now you've become the You Decide weatherman, and that's a good one. Thank you. So we're still in the UK. We're still in the UK. We all know what happened last week. There in London, it was unbelievable. So we're talking of the Euro 2020, and it has come and it has ended. But it left some sour tastes. It also left some very bitter experiences. Football shouldn't be. Football unites. Football brings love. Football makes us see ourselves as one united human family. But somehow this didn't look like that. Dr. Nat, were you following up the Euro 2020 final match, Italy, England? And
yeah. I tried as much as I wanted to follow, especially the finals.
Yes.
And well, it started on a good note. I mean, the climax to the finals, because England football team was not even given any chance by other teams in Europe. The names that were being mentioned were Italy, France, Germany, and those other Denmark and those big boys, those big teams. But surprisingly enough, fortune somehow give some smile to the England team, because for the past 55 odd years, England had not got to the finals. But they did, and everybody was tensed up towards the finals that took place on Sunday. So at least the first goal by Luke Shaw gave a rising hope for the England team and the English football lovers. But when the first half went and the one goal was still the one on record, but on the 67th minute or thereabout, Italy equalized, and they dragged on to extra time, then penalties, and we know over our past experiences, the England team is not good in penalties, and some of us were very jittery when it got to that stage, and so many factors come into play. Do you set up a 5-man squad to play your penalties, or is it open to everybody? But well, all is now history. England was not able to make up more than one goal in the penalties, but Italy got what was required to take the top.
Italy got what was required. We are now also talking about the racism that followed when you lost. It's not nice to see that happen. Maziazu, what will you say about this racism against the black players, in the English black footballers? Maziazu, are you with us?
Yeah, sorry. I think I thought we might give Goody some time to do this before.
We're coming to that. Yes,
because we may not have. Really, I don't have much to say with the Europe Cup game. I mean, that is come and gone. I believe that the manager made one of the biggest tactical mistake, the English manager, and obviously he should bear the whole brunt. He should bear the whole blame. It's unfortunate that people took the blame on the 3 young mixed race Black African players representing the country. Unfortunately, for my own personal view, the whole blame of the failure and the loss of that cup should be upon the manager Garriott, because he made the decisions. He took the steps to appoint those who took the penalties, and unfortunately, his game plan didn't work out. So, and he has himself made it clear that the blame is upon him. And I don't know why people should take up to social media to be using such inflammatory messages or words on those young boys. They've done their part, and hopefully they learn their lesson from this. And when the World Cup starts next year, they put more foot on the pedal to do the right thing and come up with the right answers. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so you decide will give the floor to Goody Okechukwu Chidima. Goody has an initiative that's wonderful. So we need to hear from her, because she will also leave at a point in time. So Ms. Goody, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. And thank you, Mr. Mark and the amazing You Decide team for giving us this opportunity to highlight our amazing initiative. So my name is Goody Okechukwu. I'm a Nigerian. I like to say that, but I'm British as well. So there's that intersectionality there. And I run an initiative called Protect Accent. Protect Accent was an initiative that was actually birthed from the pains of my lived experiences of accent focused discrimination. So I discovered that depending on where I am and whatever space I find myself at certain periods of time, my accent does not carry weight. My accent was a signifier that whether I belong in an inner or outer group. So it was an experience that greatly impacted the way I relate with people. It affected my confidence. It gave me a lot of troubles. In fact, it actually led me to developing what is called the fear of public speaking, because we will be in a space and people will be discussing around some topical issues, and I know that I have meaningful contributions to make, but whenever I open my mouth to talk, it's just that overall overwhelming feeling of, oh, you sound different, therefore you're not welcome in this space. And that led me into a lot of research. It led me down a lot of routes and paths, and I started wondering if there could be anything called um, accent focused discrimination, because I haven't heard of it before, apart from my lived experiences. I started questioning stuff. So, fortunately, I was doing my master's degree then at the University of Bradford, and I was in this cross cultural communication class with an amazing icon, Dr. Yudi Achibong. She's a professor, actually, Professor Yudi Achibong. And I thought to ask the question. I said to her, could there be anything like accent discrimination? And she says, wow. She knows that she finds it difficult to understand some people, and some people find it difficult to understand her, but it's just a subject that they haven't like properly delved into. So in my mind, I was thinking, I'm just being overly sensitive, probably being a bit petty and stuff like that. But I decided to engage with the literature. I decided to do a bit of research, and I was amazed at the research findings. Damning evidence, starking evidence that shows the impact of accent-focused discrimination. And the big question that immediately cropped up in my mind was, why is this not filtering into the spaces where changes are needed? Why are people not bringing this into practice? Why does it just sit with the academics and it doesn't come into practice in organizations, in the broader society where there needs to be a change? So, how they say to be the change you like to see, I decided to step up and do something about accent focused discrimination. Believe me, I didn't know how it was going to go. It was going to go one way or the other. But thankfully, I had people that bought into the idea. And surprisingly, I haven't met even the one individual yet that have not experienced accent focused discrimination. This then gave the platform for people to rise up and say, actually, our authentic voices are being discriminated against. Some people say we have had to take elocution lessons to tone down our accents so as to fit into a certain space. And again, I started interviewing people from both sides of the bench, employers and employees. And I'm saying to them, what are you going to do about this? This is an issue. What are the impacts of accent-focused discrimination, by the way? Now, in the society, there is a hierarchy of accents. For example, in the UK, the Brummy accent from Birmingham is classed as the least attractive accent. And what we call the received pronunciation, what Nigerians or Africans call the Queen's English, is classed as the most attractive accent. That's your London accent. Now, if you get into London again, there are different accents in London. And depending on your accent, people can actually pick out where you come from, your socioeconomic background, your heritage. So your accent just carries a lot of information. And when that is subdued, massive chunk of your identity has been taken away from you. So people say, even when we take these elocution lessons, we feel incomplete. We feel that we have lost a part of our identity. Now, coming to life opportunities, your accent can actually determine whether you get a job or not. And when you have managed to scale every other hurdle and get the job, again, your accent can determine how far you progress in your career or whether you progress at all. So all of this very negative impact and nothing is being done. So I'm saying to employers, you need to look into this. You need to raise the profile of accent-focused discrimination on the equality, diversity, and inclusion agenda, because you can't provide solution without communication. There is no way there's going to be any solutions without communication. And you don't want to be in a space where there is a monotone, everybody's sounding the same. Apart from that, accent-focused discrimination has an impact on your mental health, your employees' mental health, individuals' mental health. We have documented evidence. I even have a case of a student that committed suicide here in the UK because her accent was being discriminated against. She's English, she's beautiful, she's very intelligent. I mean, she won the Vice Chancellor's Award. And I would have even called her posh because we live in Leeds, West Yorkshire. That's the north side of England. And she's from Buckinghamshire. So people from here will probably look at her as posh. But she's gone from Buckinghamshire to Kent for her PhD. And people often make fun of her accent. And they will ask her, have you gone sailing? Because by her accent, they are saying that she doesn't come from a very rich socioeconomic background, so she can't afford sailing. And they mock her accent. It led to suicide. First of all, it led to isolation. She started isolating herself. From there, it led to depression. And, she was placed on medication for depression. After that, unfortunately, she just got to a point where she took her life. That hurts. But she committed suicide. And I'm saying to employers, you need to look into this. You need to look into this. Now, protect accent. We have three models, maybe ways by which we want to approach the issue of accent-focused discrimination. Because number one, there is no one-size-fits-all to accent-focused to the solution to accent-focused discrimination, because accent-focused discrimination plays out in different shapes and forms in different societies. In fact, we have a mantra that says accent-focused discrimination is a global issue that requires local solutions. So there is no one-size-fits-all solution to accent-focused discrimination. But what we have done from Protect Accent point of view was, number one, we created a digital course, and that course can be accessed at www.protectaccent.com around accent-focused bias. So you can access that course and take on that learning, take on that challenge. And then we created the Accent Charter. Now, the Accent Charter is the first substantial evidence that organizations can sign up to show inclusion excellence, communication excellence, to show that they truly care about the well-being of their employees. And on that charter are different points, easily achievable points that you sign up to, that you're going to have to implement in your organization to make it more inclusive, to create an ambience where everybody feels empowered to contribute their best, achieve, and where every single employee feels valued. Because accent-focused discrimination, again, can affect the quality of team's relationship. And in this day and age where the first contact for employment or whatever is via the telephone, it's amazing how people subtly get discriminated against or maligned from life opportunities, employment opportunities, just based on the way they sound. I'm not just saying this off the bat. We have evidence. We've interviewed recruiters, and these situations are real. So that's the Accent Charter. You sign up to it, and there is a toolkit as well. It's a toolkit for you to know how to get to grips with the issue of accent-focused discrimination. Now, in this day and age, where we talk about intersectionality, for example, I am a Black person. I am a woman. I'm African, and again, I've got my Nigerian accent. I'm British as well, but I don't sound British. And I've seen some Africans that look more African than me, but they sound British. So people get that shock when they see them in person. And they go, oh, like you don't look like you sound on the phone. And that is a point of kind of conflict in them. Like, what do they mean by this? So it's a big issue. It's a big issue, and there are various nuances to it.
It is a very big issue. So bringing it home, we're talking of accent also in like, for example, in Nigeria. They look at you when you speak English with your local accent. I know there's a stereotype on, for example, on the Igbos, and they will say you're sounding very poetic, and this begins to become like a kind of social problem. You don't want to sound poetic. It's a serious issue. I know my panelists, my brothers, have questions, so I'm open to them. Dr. Nat, Vincent, do you have any question for Ms. Goody with her project?
Yeah, I just one or two issues. In her presentation, Goody, you said this issue is international but has local solution. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's global. It requires local solutions.
Okay. So the follow-up question is, I personally see this as a way of coercing people to speak a language in a certain way. And it also has its challenges, which you have enumerated.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by coercing people to speak in a certain way.
Well, it's coercing in a way. Psychologically, you want to be conditioned to speak like everybody else.
Yeah.
And you sometimes or most times, it doesn't work out.
No, absolutely no. I mean, I've been in the UK for the last 18 years. And my accent hasn't changed a bit. Now, bringing it home to my family, I'm from the Igbo tribe, but I grew up in Lagos, so I have a bit of Yoruba accent. My husband is from the Igbo tribe, but he grew up in Aba, so he has the Igbo accent. My children were born here in Yorkshire, so they have Yorkshire accent. So just in my family alone, we have a mixed bag of accents. Now, if you want to talk about Nigeria, I believe that accent discrimination actually is the root of tribalism. It's the root of tribalism, because once I speak with my Igbo accent, oh, I'm an Igbo or Igbo person, or once somebody from Ibadan, Yoruba, for example, speaks, oh, Yoruba person, or once somebody from the north speaks, oh, Hausa person. So unless we start getting to the grassroots of the problems we have and proffering innovative, realistic solutions, we're not going to get anywhere. And that's why it's a huge project. It's a huge challenge that we are tackling on here.
Don't you see it as elitist?
It could be because accent discrimination is steeped in racism and classism. So even back home in Nigeria, people that are on the higher social ladder, if you like, they have a certain way of speaking. Again, not their fault, because of their interactions, their exposures, and traveling and all of that. So they might have acquired certain accents, because accent is not even fixed. My accent is changing. If I go back home now, I'm sure my mother will say I sound differently to what I used to sound. And here in the UK, I still don't fit in 100%. So exposure, environment, there are a lot of things that could contribute to your accent evolving. And these people now that you call the elitist, they are exposed and they have acquired maybe some certain accents due to this exposure. Yeah, so by the way they sound, you can easily, even in Nigeria, tell which class people belong to. When I was in Lagos, I can tell people that have been abroad and back just by the way they sound. So yes, there's a class element to it.
Mr. Kechuku, thank you very much. You really know what you're doing. It's a serious thing, and I really believe in the campaign. Vincent Maziazu, do you have a question for our mother?
Yes, I
Yeah.
probably missed this part, but let me ask. Is the project targeted towards protecting people with accents and making them feel good, or trying to make them adopt the accents around their environment? Because I know that someone like you, Goody, yeah, you're yet to pick the accent of your, environment of operation, and I'm sure you have your experiences that you have encountered in the process. Does it mean that your project is meant to protect people like you and others? I know someone like the current president of Ohanaeze Ndigbo. He's been there, done that. He's done everything. But still, he speaks so. Let me use that term, emotically. He still speaks like that. Does it mean that people like that? This project is meant for people like that who were not able to change their accent? That's my question.
That's a brilliant question, actually. Thank you for asking that. Number one, everybody has an accent. Everybody has an accent. And in this day and age of social mobility, it just takes you to move from one environment to the other, and you find out that you become the other voice. So there is no exclusion here. If I like giving the example of our former exchequer, George Osborne. Whenever he wants to come around Yorkshire to campaign, believe it or not, he takes elocution lessons to tone down his very posh English accent. Because if he comes here and he's speaking with that posh accent, people can't relate to it. People will be like, what's he on about? He is detached from our reality. He's speaking posh. He has money. Why should I even vote for him to get more money? So he takes that elocution lessons so as to make himself relatable, and the things he's saying to people can resonate with them. Now, protect accent is not about protecting any particular individual. Protect accent is about protecting everyone. Every single person, because everyone has an accent. And what we are protecting actually is the accent, all the accents. We're saying, look, when we come to interlocution, the burden of interlocution should not rest solely or squarely on the shoulders of the speaker.
Miss Goody, sorry, I'm going to keep you on hold. Listen, we have questions, we have statements coming in, questions for you. So please stick with us. But we need to take a break. We need to go on a short break. Please, you're not leaving us. It looks as if
okay, I'll stay for some time. Okay.
You're sounding real good. People are making comments. So we'll go on a break here now. You decide. We want to take a short break. I will be back. Thank you.
Schengen Story Magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story Magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment. A better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
It has been 1 year of coronavirus, and that sickness has affected the whole globe. The aftermath will even be worse, the way the scientists are telling us. And we believe that we need to counter it right now. If 1 million souls should do good to 1 other million souls, it will be a better place. So we want to start this project. 1 million souls to do good to 1 million souls.
Why don't you join us? You don't have to register anywhere. Follow me on Twitter at Shegun Johnson UK for daily tips. There we show you how to do good to one person. Always remember, 1 million souls, do good to 1 million souls.
Thank you very much. This is Mark Godwin Iwejuwan for You Decide, standing in for my very good friend, Dr. Shegun Johnson. So today we are really deciding, and the discussion is getting very, very interesting. Still with us here is our good sister, Goody Chidima Okechukwu, and with her beautiful initiative, we want her to stay by as we put out some of the questions. Comments are coming in, questions are coming in. There's a question here for you, Goody. It says, great point, but I want to understand if your initiative insists we keep our accent or alternate it based on the space we find ourselves. Some cannot change, you have some changes, though little. Did you get that?
Yeah, absolutely. I got that question.
Yes.
Now, what our initiative is intentional about really is for you to keep your accent. Now, but what we want you to know is that, again, the burden of elocution or interlocution is not solely on you, the speaker. Now, there are steps that you have to take to make sure that you are clearly understood and that you convey the right meanings when you're having a communication. Absolutely, absolutely. But that should not involve you changing your accent to suit another person, because the person you are changing your accent for have their own accents too. And no accent is better than the other, by the way. Every accent is beautifully diverse and it's just beautiful in its own way. And they are the same. So I wouldn't want to change a core part of my identity for anyone really, but I know that I have a responsibility when I enter into that contract of communication, and that is making sure that I convey the right meaning, I carry my listener along, and Protect Accent can help you with this as well. We have developed initiatives around that, if you like, or training programs around helping you to do that. But please keep your accent, because if you can understand other people's accents, there is no reason why they should not understand you when you speak in your accent.
Thank you. Thank you. There's also a comment from Ndu, God Power, says, accent deals with phonology of the language. It's a way of pronouncing words that occurs among the people in a particular region or country. So I think he's just giving
and he's bang on. That's right on point. Accent is just phonics, the way you sound and when you pronounce speech. And a lot of things come into it that time will not even permit me to share here. There's a lot of things into just the way people sound. It's got variances to it. It's got like I'd say your values, your society values come into it. Your what you hold as your internal representations. A lot of things go into it. We won't have the time, but bang on that. You're right.
Finally, Marcel Petros is still writing. Let's just take his question for you, then we can leave you. He says, you suggest that we should keep our assets. Good point. But they keep telling us that they don't understand us. So he's probably referring to the location he is and the people he interacts with and how they respond. What advice?
that's a great point again, and that is why Protect Accent, we are seriously engaging with employers. We are. I know we've engaged with employers from NHS, global banks, insurance. I mean, we are communities. We are there telling them, look, you need to make room for this. People are being alienated from teamwork. It's affecting the quality of relationship, team relationship. Obviously, it's going to affect effectiveness. It's going to affect confidence of your employee. It's going to affect productivity, efficiency. You know, so there's a lot of these gains to make if you get to grips with accent-focused discrimination. So keep speaking with your accent, and you can always ask people, because some people are genuine. We must not take away the fact that when people say they don't understand you, sometimes it is true. They are not being funny and they are not trying to discriminate against you. That's why, again, there are steps that you can take to make sure that you're clearly understood. I'll give an example. If you maybe say you're doing a presentation, you can use visual aids. I don't like telling people to talk slowly, but if that helps, you know. But what I don't want is for people to change their accent. Never ever do that.
Thank you so much. Udi Chinuma Okechukwu. What you're doing is not. It's also worldwide.
Absolutely.
It affects us in Nigeria. So you're telling me boldly to speak my Igbo intonation. I will talk as I want to talk as an Igbo man. Thank you very much. Good evening,
you're authentic.
Yes.
Very authentic. Can I just quickly chip in here that instead of discriminating against accents, we've come up with World Accent Celebration Day, and that is coming up on the 12th of October, between 12 to 2 British Standard Time. So it's going to be a live event. Please tune in. It's global. And I know you will enjoy. We have a lot of interesting packages there for you, and hopefully see you there.
We hope to. Thank you once again. Good day, Chidima Okechukwu, Global Communication Strategist, EDI Consult, also a founder of the Accent Project here in the UK. So this is it. You've heard her. We've all had her. And she really brought out some real interesting issues concerning our assets. And I know this will go a long way. Thank you. So we go on with You Decide discussions. Yes, we're still on the UK and the football reaction. So we're going to see a video now on Italy won the 2020 the Euro 2020. And it was a big one for the Italians. Last Sunday was jammed with celebration. Last Sunday was filled with so much excitement in the air, pumps and all kinds of noise. And the Italians truly deserve it somehow. They played their best and they won the cup. So let's see the video of the Italian coming home with the cup from the UK to the airport in Rome, Fiumicino, Rome. Yes, that's the Italian team coming home. That's Mancini and the keeper, the captain, holding the trophy there. Well, it has come and gone, but there are some very not too good situation in the Euro 2020. We're talking now violence, football aggression. Well, is it necessary, Dr. Nat? Football violence. There were so much violence occurrence in the UK during this period, to the extent that the Football Authority has sanctioned UEFA for the violence. What will you say about this, Dr. Nat?
Well, I think the violence has got to do with everything to do with racism in the society. Racism in England and other parts of Europe, it's been around for a long time, maybe as old as by the time the Puritans, the Vikings, thought of leaving to United States of America, because it all boils down to the color of your skin. It all boils down to other factors that don't really matter. You see, but the 2020 Euro football final, the football itself has been overshadowed by things like racism in the society. And we know racism has been there, but we were thinking that in 2021, there should be minimal display of this threat in life, because immediately or even before the final whistle was blown, those social media people had taken over the Euro finals with their postings, and it's unfortunate, it's shameful, it's disgraceful that this has to happen. And to start with, you are aware that even in Wembley, where the football took place, some football fans get crashed, broke the entrance, and did some damage.
Yes.
And went into the pitch in the football arena without tickets. So they were there illegally. Although the police is trying to give explanations, but that's not acceptable. And the official position of the Prime Minister is too little. We have counted him as one of the racists. He didn't defend those British black young players, and those are the hope for the nation in football. But it's sad. It's sad. Priti Patel 2's performance didn't help matters, and it just go a long way that we have to live with racism even in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's sad, Doctor. It's really sad. Mazi, you're following situations. I know the laws also hit you, but it's just a sport. It's nothing more than a game. So, but what will you say about this racism issue? Throw more light on the racism issue and also the football violence. I think there's a video here we will see where people were being smashed and jumped on just because they've come to watch football. So those are ugly scenes. Those shouldn't happen on international events like this. Can the studio please show us the video? Real interesting thing. Maziazu, what could make sport become this aggressive? Why will we come to this? Why has we lost our self value and want to be this rough?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I think one thing we have to understand is that football drives a very huge adrenaline in the minds and life of people, and at most times, it kind of exhausts the emotional strength of individuals at different levels. And obviously, we all know that throughout history, England has been regarded as one of the most violent sports supporting nation in terms of sport arena legalism. And it's quite unfortunate also that you have these two nations that are endangered in terms of football hooliganism in history. Italy is also regarded as one of the most violent football fan hooliganism in Europe, and even if not in the world. And when you see such thing, two nations clash at an epic football competition at the level of its final trophy, you expect such. I knew before the game that there was going to be a huge clash. There's going to be a very disastrous outcome, depending on who end up winning the trophy. Because if England has won, the Italian hooligans who had also come with the mindset to disrupt if they wouldn't win the trophy would have escalated even more further. And the English fans who have come also with the same mindset that if they lose this cup, they're going to cause mayhem. I mean, it's common with every highly overwhelmed, highly exacerbated emotional supporters. They end up in this fracas. But they come in terms of racism. I'm one of those who have always keep the philosophy that man was born free, but everywhere we are in chains. And this philosophy simply means that irrespective of what we tend to call freedom, there is nothing like an absolute freedom on earth. There is certain things that are chaining man to certain ideas, certain philosophy, certain ideology, certain culture, certain human-driven conditions. And one of these things is racism. I do not see racism as a big problem, but man has taken racism to become a challenge, especially those of us who are of color. To be honest, if you come to Europe and America, you say racism. You go to Africa, they call it apartheid. How do we survive? How do we survive? How do we want to live together? How do we want to see ourselves as human beings? Race is a common direction or a social identity of mankind. Even God himself identifies himself with a race. Do we call God a racist? If God says that my own people are the Jews and Israel, do we say God is a racist?
Okay, we will leave that,
it is highly understanding when we talk about color.
I can see.
Yes, we will come to that, Maziazu. Vincent, what will you say about football racism, football violence we witnessed in the Euro 2020?
Yeah, I can see Maziazu is still pained by the loss of his people. I accept my sympathies. And let me also say congratulations to the Italian team. But the sour grape there is the violence that trailed the victory of the Italians at that tournament. It's quite a sad situation. These are the kind of things you see in Africa. And usually when it happens in African countries, they refer to those African countries as banana republics. Now, this shows that there is no limit to, the banana republicanism. It's everywhere. You can find it everywhere. the blacks are there. Africans, you find it there. In Europe, in England even, the model country, you can find it there too. And we have seen it at play, on a very large scale. But one thing I want us to take away from here is the fact that there is a crying need now for organizers of sports tournaments, not just football, to adopt measures to guard against the recurrence of similar situations. For instance, maybe at the point of ticket sales, every fan purchasing a ticket should be made to commit, not to be of responsible conduct and behavior, win or lose. Whether your team wins or loses, it's important for the person to commit that he or she would be responsible and face the legal consequences if he or she goes against those undertakings that he committed to, because it's very important. I don't understand why anybody would have to take it. That's why sometimes I don't even get involved in watching those football with this kind of passion. We've seen people kick their television sets while watching football because of the kind of passion they invest in. I understand it's a very emotional game. Like Mazi also said, it's an adrenaline rising event. But then we should be able to control our emotions, even in situations like that. And when we cannot control it, we should be able to face the legal consequences that come with it. You cannot control yourself, stay away from the stadium and stay in your house and do your violence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. That's it. Discussions are going on. We're coming back home now to occurrences in Nigeria. So a lot has happened in the past week. Sad things and not good news, but these are what is happening, and it's our home. There's a video we're going to play now of the chairman of a particular local government in Zamfara telling us what is happening. Studio, can we have that video, please?
Let me say, at the early hour of 2 a.m., armed bandits entered Bethel Baptist High School in Damishi town in the Kujama district of Chikun local government, where they made away with about 140 pupils, students who were in their dormitories. And fortunately for 28 number of students, they escaped from the hands of their adoptees. But as we speak, we still have 125 in the hands of their adopters. Now, it's very sad that this is not the first time institutions like schools are being attacked in my constituency. If you remember, the Greenfield University is still under my constituency, where 23 students were kidnapped. And at the end of the day, in their press and desperation to get ransom payment, which was over 300 million, which they demanded. And of course, there was no way the parents of those students could raise that money. So to show how serious they were, they killed 5 of the students. I visited some of the families, and they told me their frustration and their trauma. At that time, the remaining were still in the hands of their adopters. And at the end of the day, the parents had to rally down to get money and pay for these students to be released. As I speak to you, the school has been closed. There is no more academic activities going on there. That happened in April. Now, this one that happened just yesterday is just one of the numerous incidences. I will tell you that if you look at the way they are happening, they are such in sequence that it's almost every day. In Iri, that's on 3rd of this very month, a village called Iri in Keju local government, 16 people were adopted, 3 were killed. As I speak to you, these people are still in the hands of their adopters, and what they are asking of is 100 million. As I speak to you, April 23rd, I have my paper. 2 nurses were doctors who were on duty in Idong General Hospital. I have visited the family. And from their conversation with the adopters, they told them that they've gotten staff. They are never going to release those nurses.
Very gruesome, very pathetic situation there. Nat, can you please bring us update on this security lapses and very gruesome situations going on?
Well, maybe just we'll continue from where the last the video we watched.
Yes,
in the same Kaduna, southern Kaduna, Kajuru, and those surrounding areas. It's confirmed that a second-class emir, the emir of Kajuru, Alhaji Al-Hassan, was taken out of his palace on Sunday evening with 13 others. And as we speak, the emir was released on Monday. Was it Tuesday? Tuesday. No, it's Monday. Monday evening, the emir was released Monday evening. But 13 others who were taken away with him are still there, hoping that the 200 million naira ransom is paid before those 13 were released. And the southern Kaduna is really the epicenter of kidnapping now in Kaduna State. And the worrisome thing is that the bandits or the kidnappers are now in charge. They are dictating the terms of negotiation. They have an upper hand against the government and the people of a state or even the whole country. And there are other kidnappings that are going unreported. Nobody is even hearing about that. But it's on. There was a story of a pastor who was kidnapped on Monday too, with 2 of his sons, and they're asking for a ransom of 9 million naira. And you begin to ask, these bandits, where do they think these people will get such colossal sum of money? And the government is saying don't negotiate with the bandit, especially the governor of Kaduna State. And maybe that is why the 22 local governments in Kaduna State, I think only 2 or 3 have some relative security: Kaduna South and Kaduna North. And so it is in other parts of the country. Zamfara, is it Zamfara State, which Mark mentioned? Maradun, that is the local government of the governor, Bello Matawali. And we know Zamfara too has been in the news for kidnapping. And it looks like their monthly budget is spent on paying ransom. And the situation has not changed. It's getting worse. And I was shocked yesterday when Buhari, the president of Nigeria, was telling the whole world that things are improving. He will make sure security is okay in the country. He said we had good luck as a country for not being broken into pieces, that other countries are not united. So I don't know what that man is doing or he's speaking to. And he was speaking to members of the National Assembly who invited him to come and brief them on security. He didn't go. And it was the National Assembly now going to the presidential villa, which is very unfortunate and sad.
Very unfortunate and sad. Thank you very much, my Ben TV in-house researcher, always updating us with this situation. It's sad. It's sad. How do we see this from the other parts of Europe? Vincent, what will you say about this security situation in Nigeria?
It's indeed a very disturbing situation. Many people have reacted to this, and the more disturbing part is the innate behavior of the president and the people who have the responsibility to arrest this situation. I am always worried when I see the people holding power, the president, the National Assembly, using different things, wrong things, prioritizing the wrong things. I've seen an attempt by the National Assembly in Nigeria to criminalize negotiation or payment of ransom to kidnappers. How about, I've also seen the Minister of Information saying that kidnapping is not a federal offense or something like that. Now, these are things that the National Assembly are supposed to, concentrate on. Instead of criminalizing the act, they are criminalizing the act by the victims, to redeem or rescue their kidnapped relatives. Now, if they do this, if they don't do this, what options do you leave them? The security outfits or institutions are not doing the much they are supposed to do. We have seen a religious leader in the person of Sheikh Gumi mentioning that security people go with him, the military, the DSS go with him when he goes to visit the terrorists. I don't want to call them bandits. And that's one thing we need to know. These guys are not bandits. Bandits are mere thieves. But terrorists, these guys do more than bandits. They kidnap people, they kill people, they maim, they rape. And they do this continuously. And they are growing in influence and strength. In a certain part of Borno State, even though the governor has come out to deny it, they have appointed a governor in the person of Abakaka, who has got a few local governments under his control, and they are taxing people. They are collecting tax from people, from residents of those areas. People cannot go to farm anymore. People cannot do anything. And before you even do anything, before you farm, you have to pay them. Meanwhile, we vote billions and trillions of naira to the military to arrest this situation. And we're not seeing the result. We've also seen the presidency spend billions of naira to arrest fugitives and individuals who have denounced their Nigerian citizenship. And these guys are not known to be threats, security threats, at least to the nation, as much as these terrorists up north are. It's quite disturbing. And I feel sad when I hear the president or even elected officials from the north celebrate such actions as the arrest of fugitives, and then they don't talk about the things happening behind them at their backyard. Are they scared of these terrorists or what? Are they part of the scheme or what? I've seen Governor El-Rufai, who has once paid ransom to these guys, defending them, saying that they are businessmen. Now, what kind of business are they doing? Kidnapping, demanding for ransoms in millions of naira? Just like the pastor who was kidnapped, that pastor may not have seen 1 million naira in all his lifetime. And they are demanding 9 million. And if his relatives and friends manage to gather 9 million naira to pay to the terrorists, it becomes a crime. Meanwhile, the soldiers are not doing anything. They are said to be doing something, but we have not seen the effect. If you go to the north, where they say these kidnaps happen, the Boko Haram guys, the terrorists, have their own checkpoints very close to military checkpoints in the north. The military people have seen kidnapped victims who escaped or who were released, have also mentioned that shortly after their release, they walked a short distance only to meet military men at the checkpoint. And those guys will just look away and say, okay, safe journey. We've also seen instances whereby people who were supposed to go to rescue their people met security men at their checkpoint, and the security men will ask them, where are you going? They will tell them, oh, we have this problem and we want to go pay ransom. and those guys will say, okay, good God's grace, same journey.
Thank you very much. Thank
Now
you.
imagine the kind of situation. It's quite sad. It's so
Yes.
sad. It's
sad.
heartbreaking.
It's
It's
sad.
heartbreaking.
Thank you very much for those good insights. Very, very heartbreaking. It's sad. Sad to say the least. But we move on. Finally, yesterday also, the Senate was able to reject the nomination of the presidency, the INEC commissioner. Mazi Azu, I know you updated your website, Kata Amaja. So what is it that happened to Madam Loretta? Mazi Azu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I think with regards to the situation going on in Nigeria at presently, in view of the insecurity challenges in Nigeria, I think is becoming a daily occurrence. I mean, yesterday there was a very serious security breach in Lagos between military men and local traders, especially the Igbo traders in Ladipo. And about 3 or 4 or 5 young men were shot dead as of yesterday at the fracas between the Nigerian army personnel and the civilians in the market in Lagos. And within the last 24 hours, there have been series of kidnapping and killing in Kaduna. And one obvious question somebody was asking yesterday, I was listening to a program, is how come Nigeria and especially Kaduna, where we have the first mechanized brigade, the first divisional army command center, the most armed and sophisticated command center in Nigeria is in Kaduna. The Nigerian military university or training or whatever, NDA, is in Kaduna. And yet, Kaduna is the epic center of the most atrocious insecurity incidences in the last 1.5, 2 years or 3 years. People are still asking, why? Why do we have such fortified military centers in Kaduna, and yet every day people are killed, people are kidnapped in school, at home, in hospitals, in offices, in shops? There's a lot to be asked. Yesterday, they did an inquiry, presented their report to the governor. And in that report, they said in the last 6 months, 222 people have been killed in Kaduna, 700 plus kidnapped up to date, yet to be released. In one state, with a governor who promised to bring an end to terrorism and kidnapping in Kaduna when he came into office. Even him himself is living a governor in fugitive, because they threatened his children to the point he had to go and remove his children from school with the fear of kidnapping. So it's a very serious matter that I wonder. Yesterday, the president was feeding and eating fat with the members of the National Assembly to discuss issues of insecurity, and you are having dinner. You should be in a locked up room. Lock yourself up together without no water, no drink, no wine. Asking yourself serious question. Why are we suffering this insecurity in this land? Instead, they are feeding themselves with fat with our money, discussing irrelevancies. And they call it insecurity.
Yes.
What came out of that meeting, nobody knows. Nobody knows what came out of that meeting last night. Nothing relevant. Nothing changes. They went to that meeting this morning. Situation remains the same.
We need to.
I mean, I know you talked about Onoche's Loretta Onoche's situation. I mean, Loretta Onoche's situation is absolutely irrelevant at this moment with regards to the loss of lives and properties and the loss of insanity in the society and Nigeria as a whole. It's a matter of urgent need and resolution, not about Loretta's INEC involvement or not involvement. I don't think that is a major issue. The major issue is if there are no people who will vote in 2023, if there are no human beings who will conduct elections in 2023, if
Okay.
the seed that is being sowed now becomes a huge unrootable root in the next 6 months to 1 year, who will bear the brunt? Is it INEC? Is it National Assembly? Is it the presidency? Is it the governors? Or is it the citizens themselves?
Thank you, Mazi. You're very passionate about your country. You're always following up. In fact, you wish you could just turn things around on your own. Don't worry, we will get there. We'll take a break soon, but when we come back, we'll be discussing some other issues. A lot is going around the world. There is commotion and real strong situation in South Africa. So we're coming back to discuss South Africa in the wake of the Zuma riot. We call it Zuma riot because it sparked up his imprisonment. The former President Zuma imprisonment sparked up riots. So we're coming back to discuss this. We're also coming back to talk about the situation in South America, Haiti precisely. Haiti had a president being assassinated. So, but for now, this is You Decide, Bank TV UK, and we'll join you soon. Thank you.
Give yourself away for me.
It has been 1 year of coronavirus, and that sickness has affected the whole globe. The aftermath will even be worse, the way the scientists are telling us. And we believe that we need to counter it right now. If 1 million souls should do good to 1 other million souls, it will be a better place. So we want to start this project. 1 million souls to do good to 1 million souls. Why don't you join us? You don't have to register anywhere. Follow me on Twitter at Shegun Johnson UK for daily tips. There we show you how to do good to 1 person. Always remember, 1 million souls, do good to 1 million souls.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. The articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions, celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story Magazine. Get Schengen Story Magazine full editions.
Yes, this is Mark Godwin Iweduan, standing in for the very good brother, Dr. Shegun Johnson. This is You Decide. We touch on all issues. Around the world, every day, events and occurrences happen. So we want to make sure we are giving our viewers a little taste of what is happening. Right there in Africa, South Africa, the past week has been very, very, very rough. It has gotten to the stage where 40 people, as of 2 days ago, Monday, have been declared dead. Studio, can we have a video of a short clip of what is happening in South Africa? Now, this is it. What you're seeing there is a state of confusion, looting, and lawlessness. South Africa is on the brink of collapse. In fact, it's so sad. Dr. Nat, what will you say? This started as Zuma was pronounced guilty and paraded to the prison. Now it has become a free-for-all looting. What will you say about this, Dr. Nat?
Well, sitting down and watching this video clip is very depressing. It's sad, unfortunate, and embarrassing. South Africa, within the continent of Africa, it was highly rated and had potentials and hope. We're all aware of the history of apartheid in South Africa. And really what happened was what Mandela got was more of Mandela and the South African people, they got what we would a pseudo political independence, but the economy was still and is still in the hands of the whites and a few black people. And the brief history of South Africa has been very turbulent. Mandela came, did one term, Mbeki came, and then this issue of tribal politics came in. This same Jacob Zuma made sure that Mbeki was hounded out of office for no good reasons. And Zuma comes from the KwaZulu-Natal province or part of South Africa. Yes. And we know the Zulu, the chiefs and the politics in South Africa. And so what we are really seeing is more of economic outcry. It has got nothing to do with Zuma being found guilty, given 15 months, and may just spend 4 months and he goes on parole. Because what we are seeing on the street of South Africa, especially in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, Soweto, and other areas, which is the thing is now spreading to other provinces of South Africa. And what we are seeing is just a clear indication or symptom of poverty, unemployment, and the other vices and challenges the South African people are facing. They are not talking, those people looting the shops, they are not talking of politics. They are talking of they want to keep their body and souls together. But the thing is that will that solve the problem? Will that bring out Zuma out of prison as we speak? And we also see that there are the current president Ramaphosa, Cyril Ramaphosa, has really not displayed any serious leadership in handling this crisis because the police have been overwhelmed, even though the military have been invited to come and assist police. They don't seem to be taking full control on what is going on on the streets of South Africa. And so on the flip side, this is a lesson that the other African countries to think seriously about, because the other African countries are almost the same what is happening in South Africa. In our country, Nigeria, the level of poverty, the level of insecurity, and so many other vices in the society, we're getting to a tipping point where the people will rise against their government, where we have seen it in the past. You know, there were lootings during even the COVID lockdown. People were not getting it easy at all. And if we go back to South Africa, we had a similar thing, the phobia thing against people who are not South Africans, especially Nigerians. But this particular one is worse than what happened in the past. And so South Africa the leadership should be sitting up and doing exactly what they were elected to do, to protect life and property and take care of the welfare of the people.
Thank you very much. Great insight. Vincent, how is Europe seeing this? This is ugly. It has gotten so terrible. Go ahead, Vincent.
Yes, it's a very ugly situation out there in South Africa. Ironically, it was Jacob Zuma that created the panel, set up that process that found him guilty today. And I must salute ex-President Zuma for giving himself up, making himself available for the government to, hold him to answer to the law. Unlike some countries that we know, maybe in Nigeria, this may never happen. We may never see this kind of thing happen in our lifetime. An ex-president being jailed or being convicted by a court, and then the ex-president would willingly volunteer himself to answer to the law. Another thing, again, that doesn't make me a fan of Jacob Zuma anyway, because we know him for a lot of mischief. Zuma is a very mischievous person. It's also possible that what we are seeing today happening in South Africa might be his plan B. By giving himself up, it's possible he set up that process for his fans and supporters to, cause mayhem in South Africa. Unfortunately, it's been hijacked by hoodlums, the hungry people, because the situation we're seeing is actually reflective of the high rate of poverty, hunger, occasioned by unemployment in South Africa. And now people are hungry. When they see any little opportunity, it's not even about whether Zuma is correct or not, whether Zuma is being tried, being witch hunted or not. People are hungry and they latch onto any little opportunity to, feed themselves, to lay hold on anything, lay hands on anything that can to feed themselves. So when it has degenerated to this point, you don't blame the people. They're hungry. They descend on any available thing. They've gone to loot shops, loot everything, and businesses would suffer even more after now in South Africa. Now, exactly like what happened in Nigeria during the EndSARS, the hoodlums had to hijack it, and in the process discovered a lot of warehouses where their palliatives, COVID-19 palliatives, were hoarded by politicians. It's quite sad in South Africa. I know that this kind of thing could also spiral into other African countries, and that's it's inevitable. It's only a matter of time, and it will get to other South African countries. So it's expected that the current president of South Africa, should be able to handle the situation very well. So far, I give him credit too. He has involved the military, and incidentally, the number of the dead would be a far cry to what we would have noticed in Nigeria if the situation were in Nigeria, because we have seen that the military, security operatives who were engaged to quell the protest used rubber bullets. In Nigeria, no such thing happens. People would have been shot with live bullets, and there would have been more casualties in Nigeria. So it's a lesson for African countries with dictatorial tendencies to learn, even though they've not been able to contain the situation. I believe that with further engagement, involvement, or maybe more better initiatives, which I don't see Ramaphosa displaying, the situation will be controlled. And this protest would not save Jacob Zuma. If he is found guilty, he should go and face it. People should know that Jacob Zuma is being tried for things he did against the South African people. When one person corners Commonwealth money meant for everyone, the person should be made to answer. And here he is today, about to answer to his crimes. But protesting in this manner, looting everything, would even worsen the situation for South Africans. And people should be made to know that these are usually the repercussions for this kind of actions. It's better for them to engage wisely rather than doing these things they do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good insight. We move around. We go further now to the Osifo Ataga situation. I hope you all been following. A video came out on Monday changing all the storyline we've known before. Studio, can we have the story on Osifo Ataga and Chidinma?
He doesn't talk much about himself. He's quite busy, like a busy person. I would say that at some point in time, he got to know that he likes to carry girls, and he smokes, he drinks, and takes drugs also. So, on Tuesday, he already told me that he's going to give me the money that I requested for. And when I came out, when I was arrested, and they were saying I made away with 5 million naira. There was no 5 million naira in the account. I just did it. It's not like I had something to do with his death. I never had anything to do with his death.
Now, for those viewers that have been following, we all know the very sad story in Lagos, Nigeria. A young girl that was befriending a billionaire man, and somehow things got ugly on a dating night, and the man was killed, Osifo Ataga. Vincent, what will you say about this new change of storyline? What will you say about this, Vincent?
Yeah, it's becoming very interesting as the days go by, because we have seen the change of narrative now. The girl has all of a sudden realized the danger in her initial admission that she committed the murder, and now said that she did not commit the murder. And more curious is the fact that the police are making a show of the whole thing. Yes, I understand that video, that excerpt there was from a police program, Crime Watch, yes, Crime Watch. But the way it was packaged is quite funny. Now, this girl is looking so fresh, so well taken care of. Yes, it's not time to convict her yet. We cannot put her commit her to the hangman yet, because the case is not over yet. But looking at the girl, you see that she's very relaxed, very comfortable, talking with so much assurance, as if someone has given that kind of assurance that, don't worry, just say this and nothing will happen at the end of the day. I also had my doubts initially when she told that story. Some people have accused her of being criminally minded or, committing the murder. She had admitted, yes, but I raised a lot of issues at a different forum where I said, if this girl had that criminal intention to rip off this guy, kill him and take his money, why did she have to go with his phone? Why did she have to? She knows it's possible that she could be traced. There could have been CCTVs in that hotel. She left with the guy's phone, with the ATM. She's not aware that she could be traced after withdrawing money from the guy's account. These are things that the police are supposed to look into. Then again, the guy's friends also made mention of the fact that the rope used to tie the guy's hand penetrated deep into his skin, indicating that it required more force than what we see of that young girl, to have those ropes tied that tightly around the deceased guy's hands. The girl, in my opinion, has got a lot more to say. I believe she worked in cahoots with maybe criminals or people who wanted to get rid of that guy, or she doesn't know. But I'm leaving that in the hands of the police to find out. But something we just have to note is that the girl did not work alone. Even if she did not kill the Ataga, she would know one or two things about the people that killed the person. And these are the people that are taking care of all these things, trying to manipulate our minds, using PR, using media manipulations. Look at her, looking very bright and clean and talking smoothly. Not even talking remorsefully. That's a good observation. They need to dig more. They need to dig further.
Yes, that's a good observation. Dr. Nat, what will you say of this new development with the Chidinma Ataga story?
I think something is terribly wrong along the line. Her first story and this second one, the narratives do not add up. It's like they are two separate and independent stories on their own, and not related to each other at all. What we have seen is like what the EFCC used to do. When there's an allegation, they parade you, media trial. What Chidinma's case is like, it is a media trial now, but meanwhile this case is supposed to be in court, and once a case is in court, you allow the law to take its process to a conclusive end. But we are not seeing this. We are seeing a lot of contradiction. Even the Chidinma's name, Ojukwu, I'm told that Ojukwu really is not her father's name. She has another name. The mother has not seen her for the past 10 years. And so what are we hearing? What are we talking about? What's really happening? Is it the type like the Nigerian police will invent their own crime and give solution to that crime, and the original crime goes down the carpet, and the Nigerians will never know the truth. Ortega's family will never know who killed their son, and so many things are boggled up and muddled up. At the end of the day, you won't get anything. You won't get anything. So my main concern is the media should stop making available airtime or opportunities for this girl Chidinma to tell us stories, because these are stories as far as I'm concerned. Let's get to the bottom of the root of the fact of this case. Let Nigerians know exactly what happened, so that we can draw a line, and everybody, the Ortega family, will go home with and close the case.
That's it, Doc. You just said my mind too. Okay, you decide it's going on. Time has far been spent, but we still need to talk on some issues before we quickly round up. A brief one, Dr. Nat, a fast one. What's your take on the situation in Haiti? A fast one. What's happening in Haiti?
Haiti has been also, it's a very tiny country there in South America. It has also a very turbulent history, politically and otherwise. We remember the number of earthquakes that Haiti has suffered, and then we remember the political turbulence in that place. We remember one of their presidents has to be bungled out of the country, but it's all geopolitics of USA and then those South American, Latin American countries. The 7th of July 2021, when people went to the presidential palace and assassinated Jovenel Moïse and injured the wife. There are official versions and there are also unofficial versions as who really killed this man. Was there any conspiracy? Was there any compromise in the security outfit and security arrangement? And then, so the issue has really not been resolved. We are hearing of some U.S. Haitian citizens participating in this crime, and we're hearing of Colombian former soldiers participating in this in this crime. Whereas the jury is still out there, we don't know yet exactly what is going on there, and there is also a turbulence who fills the vacuum of late Jovenel, who is going to be the next president of Haiti. That one they are still struggling.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Nat. Dr. Nat, you're really putting us abreast with the situation. Time is fast spent, but on a lighter note, in our Nigerian community in Europe and the UK, well, I would like to share this good news. I mean, it's not all bad news. One of our Nigerian sister, Eva Omogime, now serves as a royal director to the Queen's Palace. She has worked with them for 13 years. She's a British and Nigerian descent. And her new role with Prince Charles will make her give reports, daily reports, Eva has served in the capacity of Director of Community Engagement before. The 43-year-old woman has been very, very efficient, and as the Prince and the Duchess said, she is beloved. So we want to say, Eva, congratulations to your appointment, and we wish you the best as you keep flying the good flag of Africa, the good flag of Nigeria. And on that note, we bring our You Decide 14th of July 2021 to an end. I want to thank you all for coming. We appreciate your very resourceful, very informative, insightful discussions. Dr. Nat Yako from the UK, Ben TV in-house researcher. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. My very good friend Mazia Azu, he has just left us to an event somewhere. Mazia Azu, wherever you are, we appreciate you. Thank you for being so resourcul. My brother and I call him my right-hand man. He's always with me in every corner of our movement. Vincent Ihesinulo, intelligent man. Thank you so much for coming to You Decide today. Thank you for all the research and the discussion. So this is it. We want to thank the wonderful behind-the-scene technicians and behind-the-scene directors, Alicent and Anthony. We also want to thank our great friend, Dr. Shede in Nigeria, and all the members of You Decide, not forgetting my own wonderful big brother, Dr. Johnson, Shegun Johnson. So with that, we say ciao from Milan. Bye-bye.